This is a Zakhmi, military location of Israel, which has been the home of one of the largest, amassing of soldiers and tanks and armored vehicles, which have been targeting Gaza Stretch or the locations of Hamas. And our camera person could show you very well the number of vehicles that have just passed from here, lines of tanks which rolled out from the places where they were actually located and deployed. And we had been covering this place for a few days now, and every day we saw intermittent firing from the Israeli side targeting locations of Hamas across Gaza. The situation off ground is very tense because Israeli defense system is now taking hold of the entire situation, which was breached last week. We have seen hundreds of apparently terrorists from Hamas encouraging into the Israeli settlement in southern Israel and targeting people across without, people without arm, people unarmed, unassuming, people just going around for their own normal, simple life. And they were targeted, indiscriminate firing happened, and several hundreds of civilians have been killed since then. Now the situation looks like Israeli forces are preparing for a major ground offensive. Aerial strikes we have already seen have been going on for the last 7-8 days in the Gaza Stretch and targeting several Hamas locations. It is now being reported that one of the most senior leader of Hamas, Al-Qadi, has been killed by IDF forces. In one of the strike that the force had been doing along the Gaza Stretch. And with that strike, it seems that there will be a huge vacuum in the policy-making strategy and how the Hamas will continue their operation against Israeli forces or Israeli civilian in the days to come. And that is being seen as a major success of Israeli offensive in the Gaza. One of the senior most leader of Hamas, Al-Qadi, has been killed. Earlier reports also suggested that few more senior commanders of Hamas have been killed, but with this latest killing, it looks like there will be a huge vacuum. Also, the tightening of situation around Gaza is something that Israel is planning to do. We have already seen siege happening, which means that major essential supplies along the northern Gaza has been blocked. Israeli government has asked people from the northern side to move towards South Gaza. That will mean that about 1 million people have to vacate their homes, and that is a major humanitarian crisis that is evolving in Gaza. But at the same time, that will also ensure that when the ground offensive of Israeli military forces will start, that will mean lesser number of civilian casualties, because the fight that the Israeli military will be having in Gaza during the raid, that will be door-to-door situation. And you can see that the entire stretch of this Gaza location is filled with military vehicles. Just a few minutes ago, we saw dozens of military armored vehicles, tanks and launchers passing by this side. And that is the kind of preparation the Israeli military is doing against Hamas and the counter-offensive that is going to be on the ground in the days to come. The territorial fight or the raid in Gaza is being planned by the Israeli side, but it is not started because apparently there are still large number of civilians who are staying there, and Hamas is trying to create a shield around them and trying to put those civilian people as their shield. But with all this preparation, it looks like now it will be very difficult for Israel to just go now right in the situation in Gaza, unless and until there is enough evidence that people have moved, or the Hamas terrorists are now defenseless in terms of having no more civilian shield. And that is one of the reasons why people would wonder why it has taken about 1 week for Israeli forces before entering Gaza. And now it looks Israeli forces are all set, and very soon we can see the raid inside Gaza is starting, and the most severe or fierce battle that will be door to door, street to street fight, and there is a possibility that Hamas militants may have some superiority because they know the location, they know the street, they know every single home in that locality, and their Israeli forces may not be as powerful as they are having superiority in terms of aerial combat capability. And this is why Israeli forces have been a bit apprehensive about launching massive counteroffensive in the territory of Gaza soon. But with the preparation and intelligence inputs and in a way targeting key locations of Hamas, it looks like the grounds have been cleared or prepared first, and then the military strike or the territorial strikes will start happening inside Gaza.